Hello and welcome to the Midnight Bible Study. Bigger war coming to Israel. Much bigger war. Eric Stackelbeck sat down with Amir Safadi and got an update on the ground in Israel. The war with Hamas continues, but that's only a warm-up for a much bigger war, which Hezbollah, which everybody knows is coming. And then that's only a warm-up for ultimately a much bigger war, which is the Ezekiel 38 war. In the future, how near future is hard to know, but perhaps not as far off as one might think. There's certainly a reason, as I'm going to talk about in a minute, for concern. Now, the war with Hezbollah is 100% expected. Everyone in Israel understands this. It's 82,000 people in the north have had to evacuate from their homes. You'd have to be a madman to go back to your home with Hezbollah right across the border after seeing what happened on October 7th when this horde of killers and the horrors that they brought on the people, murdering, burning them, raping them, chopping the heads off children, etc. To live with that threat hanging over, literally within a stone's throw across the border, that's not going to happen. Nobody's going back to their homes. And that's totally unacceptable to Israel. They can't have that. And so they're going to have to deal with the problem. They're aware of it. And they're going to take care of business with Hamas, and then they're going to move on to Hezbollah. According to Sarfati, Hamas has the largest terror base on earth, but Hezbollah has the biggest terror organization on the earth. It's even bigger than some countries in Europe. So it's not going to be a small war. It's going to be a major war that they're facing with Hezbollah. And Hezbollah is well funded by Iran. So Israel basically knows that their only chance of survival, defeating their enemies on their borders, is their only chance of survival. They understand that the wolves have surrounded. They have blood on their tongues and on their teeth, and they're just waiting for a chance to wipe Israel off the map. So the state of Israel no longer exists from north to south, east to west. There won't be anybody other than Palestine. So, and Israel understands their only chance of survival is victory. Sarfati says the way it's understood is they've already paid the price. They paid the price on October 7th. They've had 500 soldiers already lost their lives with Hamas. At this point, they need to take care of business. Sarfati talks about how God is above time. The war, the Ezekiel 38 war, which is even bigger than the Hamas or the Hezbollah war, that one has basically, it's already happened already. In terms of God's perspective, God is above time. He sees the beginning from the end. It's already happened. The prophet saw the Ezekiel 38 war. We haven't seen it yet, but it's not a maybe. It's going to happen. And if you're paying attention, you can see, it's absolutely incredible how you can see all the pieces on the chessboard moving into place. These prophets, you take prophecies from 1,000 years ago, and you're looking at current geopolitics, and it's like, wow, all the pieces are lining up just as it was prophesied. You've got Russia now getting close to Iran. They're getting much closer economically and militarily through their ties. At the same time, Sarfati talks about the fact that they're actually surprised to see this now. Turkey and Iran are getting much closer. Now, this really surprised them. In fact, these are all countries prophesied to be part of the Ezekiel 38 coalition in the Gog-Magog war. So you've got Russia, you've got Turkey, you've got Iran, and the others. Back regarding Russia, since Sarfati talks about, since October 7th, Russia has hosted also a Hamas delegation. That's a surprise, and that they've even, and also we learned from the Sarfati says we learned from the ambassador to Israel to Russia that Russia has actually funded Hamas to some extent. Russia allowed weapons into the hands of Hamas, and Russia even trained Hamas to some degree as well. So here you've got Russia connected up with Hamas, and you've got Iran funding Hamas and Hezbollah as the head of the snake. So at this point, if you're in Israel, you understand the wolves are surrounded and they're all linking up just as prophesied long ago. That's the story. That's the update. Turkey is a major threat also. Turkey is not just any third world army. This is the second largest army in NATO. And so the fact that Turkey's lining up with Iran, it just goes to show you this Ezekiel 38 war is big. It's huge. I mean, Israel will be, if you look at it on its surface, Israel would be totally overwhelmed. That's why, as prophesied in the Bible, God will intervene at that point. God bless you. Good night from the Midnight Bible Study.